Hello, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am Screen Scene Guru, coming at you with another reaction. This one is to a old horror film. Some of you might have heard of this, the 1931 Dracula. This was released from not Warner, sorry, Universal Studios. Just going over a few highlights. I have a bit of information pulled up over here. Um, It has a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is really cool to see. Still high scored for the movie ranking website. This, of course, stars Bela Lugosi as Dracula, which he's infamous for the role, very iconic. Um, uh, so, yeah, I recently watched this film just today. I have a bit of a steelbook kind of show off to those of you that like to collect steel books. I don't know how well of a shot you can get of this, but there's the cover, awesome key art, and then also inside you got some very nice key art there. And then I'm going to put in the discs so that you guys can kind of see what it looks like with the discs inside. Now, of course, this is the 4K Ultra HD. This was released, I believe, holiday, so around October of this year. Um, with the discs, of course. So yeah, I really enjoyed this film. For those of you that have not caught this, this is part of their Universal horror monster movies. They also include Creature of the Black Lagoon, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein. I believe there might be one more, including Dracula. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, I believe Wolfman also is on the Universal horror category of films to watch. I have caught up, of course, on this 1931 Dracula. Um, it was very interesting to see a rendition of the story from the book. This film kind of felt more adapted from the screenplay, if you will, or from the book. I know others have told me to react to Bram Stoker's Dracula, which is done by Francis Ford Coppola. I'm very excited to get to that one because that one, of course, has Gary Oldman, Keanu Reeves, and Winona Ryder. So I'm very interested to check that one out. It's on the list. But going back to this black and white Dracula, basically we got to pick up and start off just like the story goes in Transylvania. Um, we got to see the actor Dwight Frere play Renfield, showing up to Castle Dracula to sign documents for travel, passports, whatnot, to board a ship to England, right? Um, we got to see many kind of classically trained actors and actresses. We got the great Helen Chalender to play as the main female role of the film. She was by the name of Maria Harker, and her husband, um, played by Jonathan Harker, is actor David Manners, and he's also been in a few um, cult films like The Death Kiss and The Mummy from 1932. So yeah, that's another Universal classic film to check. The Mummy, the original, not Brendan Fraser's Mummy, which is also a great franchise trilogy. But I'm also talking about the 1952 Mummy. Um, he was also in Dracula, of course, but going on into other key figures in the film, we got to see, uh, let's see, Edward Van Stallone, Edward Van Stullen portray the Doctor, which was very interesting to see. He also got to kind of psych out the. Uh, he was the psychiatrist to Renfield when he was locked up in the hospital ward for the part of the film. Um, I'm looking up to see if they have anything on the actor that played Martin. Um, Mr. Martin that played, of course, uh, Marie Hecker's father. He was a doctor, well-known physician at the time, well respected. Um, we also got to see France Duat um, as a friend in the role. Lucy Winstonetta. Um, so she had a pretty good role to play. She was a friend that was bitten by Dracula and later turned into a vampire. So that was a fun role to see. She has also been in Daughter of the Dragon, 1931. She was in, as well as Dracula, 1931, the same year. Um, let's see, she was in Rifles in 1930, it looks like. Grumpy in 1930 and Seed in 1931. So she's been in a lot of classic film. Um, Unfortunately, these actors and actresses have passed, of course. A lot of them shooting back in the day in the 30s. But moving on, we've got Donald Murphy, who was a leading male role in the show, and he was also in Frankenstein's Daughter, which was very interesting to see. Another potential Universal release film. I'm not sure. Let me see. Distributed by Astra Pictures. Okay, so I've never heard of them, but he was in Frankenstein's Daughter. He was in Masterson of Kansas, a western. Um, yes, he's also been in many many television projects, so that's interesting to see. Um, Going into Bela Lugosi's acting, um, seems like he was in Wolfman from Universal as well as Dracula. He was also in Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Okay, he was in Plan 9 from Outer Space. Interesting. Also, he was in Son of Frankenstein. Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. So they did collaborations on these, actually. This was 1943. The Black Cat, White Zombie, Bride of the Monster, 1955. Um, he also did Mark of the Vampire, 1935. So he did more vampire stuff. Ghost of Frankenstein, Glenn or Glinda. Oh my, interesting, controversial film, perhaps. 1953. So he's done film. He's a film auteur. Um, House of Dracula. Okay, these are more films I'm gonna have to check out, guys. But there are tons of these in the backward uh, analog histories. Let's see, where is this? Uh, Universal Pictures. So yeah, it's a lot of House of Dracula. Check that out. Murders in the Rue Morgue. Okay, interesting. So it's a huge category of films. Island of Lost Souls. Okay, it's 1932. Looks very good. Black Friday. There's a movie called Black Friday with him in 1940. So yeah, he's just got a record list of film archive cinema to check out, guys. Bela Lugosi, if you have not heard the name, uh, check him out. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was kind of interesting in the way that it ended with the happy ending. the father of, I believe, Maria or Marie, something like that. Father, the fiance, her husband, and Van Helsing all followed Dracula back to his abbot castle in England, where they found him sleeping in his coffin, and they staked him through the heart, which supposedly lifted the curse on Marie or Amory, um, letting her live a happy life with her husband and the father. And Van Helsing went off, and it ended happily ever after, which I thought was kind of funny because some of these vampire films, at least more modern vampire films, end more um, grotesque, horror-esque. But this was a very nice watch, very black and white, basic telling of the story. Um, so I liked it a lot. Definitely highly recommend. For those of you that have not checked this out yet, uh, check it out. One more thing before we leave, make sure to like the video, subscribe, follow the channel for future content, not just here, but also on YouTube, Instagram. I might be creating a new Threads account potentially in the future, depending on um, where I want to upload future videos. Might be seeing some of my videos here on YouTube showing up on Instagram potentially. We'll check out and see how that all goes further down the line. But going back to Bela Lugosi, I just want to go back to real quick this Dracula 1931 and pull up the director if I can. Todd Browning. Okay, it's Todd Browning. I heard him before. For those of you that have not heard of him directing in Hollywood, he was a big time horror director. He has done such film as, let's see, movies. Yes. Okay. So we have Freaks from 1932. We've got Dracula 1931. The Unknown from 1927. London After Midnight, 1927 as well. So these are all interesting films to get. He did do Mark of the Vampire, so I'm going to have to check that out in 1935. He's also responsible for The Unholy Three. Let's see. The Devil Dolls, also West of Zanzibar, The Mythic, The Show. Sorry, guys, these are in 1928. This was West of Zanzibar, The Mythic, 1925, The Show, 1927, Outside the Law, 1921, and Blackbird, 1926. So he has done a whole lot of films. I'm just looking through some more of his stuff right now. Um, yeah, real archive cinema guy. This Todd Browning. If you haven't heard the name, I've definitely got some more cinema to check out on the list. So make sure to like and subscribe, follow the channel, future content. But until next time, guys. Bye bye.